now you've been doing content for what, like a year, a little bit more than a year, consistently for about a year,
Consistently, I would say for a year.
and how has that been for you?
I would say it's been good because I've been doing it both social media and YouTube. And for me as a person, it built more confidence.
Okay, I mean that is like one side effect you probably didn't see coming, right? You
No.
wanted to get into it just to make content for the fun of it, or like just something to do on the side, or was it something for your job?
So if you're asking me something like that, when I first got it started into it, I really wanted to be for more fun because it looks so interesting. It's like
Yeah.
everybody wants to be an
Yeah, you
influencer
see
kind of
everyone
thing.
doing it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to do it. And that's how I wanted to get a camera. And you know how I reached out to you and you recommended me my camera
Yeah,
about that
so
Canon M50. And that's why I want to ask you, why did you suggest that particular camera for me?
so yeah, I remember when you first got started, you had no idea about camera gear or anything related to photography, videography. So I was like thinking, okay, I'm using all this really expensive gear that's like $1,000, $3,000 for just a camera body. But I was like, no, for someone like you, to someone starting out, I would recommend a more compact, much more cheaper, affordable camera. And for someone that's wanting to do more video work, more content creation rather than photography, the Canon M50 at that time was a great camera because it was like maybe what, like $500-600,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a nice camera body. You can shoot 4K, get a lens with it. It's pretty much all you need to get started. So I think something like that. Just start small. It's super compact as well, and it can do pretty much anything that you need. Whether you're shooting like lifestyle vlogs, or you're just doing home videos, you want to do like travel videos,
Mm-hmm.
anything. Like it's a all good. Like it's a good all rounder.
Okay. But why would you say that particular one? Because I know it's a mirrorless. I didn't know it was mirrorless until I looked it up and trying to buy it. But there's other cameras that people will get, like DSLR and other cameras just for shooting. Like I heard about a Sony ZV-10, something like that. Some people take
Yeah.
it and it's more compact as well. But what made you go into this Canon M50 for beginners?
Well, might be a little bit biased because I am a Canon shooter,
Okay.
so I'm always gonna recommend Canon. I just really like the Canon interface and like the Canon colors as well.
Okay.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with Nikon, Sony, and the other cameras, but me personally, because I've used all the other ones as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I just keep going back to Canon. So that's just what I prefer personally.
Okay.
The other cameras are fine as well. Like if you want to try them out, I can still recommend other ones as well. Like the one you mentioned is good too, but I think the M50 is still a little bit cheaper, a little more affordable,
Okay.
and I think it was also because I was kind of like helping you, coaching you, so you using the same like Canon like ecosystem,
Okay.
it will make it easier for me to kind of teach you. You know?
Okay. So when it comes to like finding a camera, there's no really a particular brand.
No, it really does not matter at all. Like in this day and age, all the cameras now, the Sony, Nikon, Canon, all of them are fine. They all can do its job. As long as you use them properly,
Hmm.
you'll get the good results that you need. And honestly, right now, phones are great too. So
So why would you say that a lot of beginners who try to look for a camera always have trouble debating on Sony and Canon? Those are the main two most popular ones. Why they always have trouble with that? And I know you're biased, you said, just because you're used to it, but why is it always like something where people have struggle figuring out?
I mean, it's because people have options because they're like, oh, okay, I have the Sony and Canon option. How do I choose? What do I go with? And people just go in and do a lot. They'll go in and do all this research on whether they should get Sony or Canon.
Hmm.
But I'm telling you, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much, especially if you're just starting out as a beginner. once you start going more pro and start doing more client work,
Mm-hmm.
you'll kind of find different things that, oh, Sony's a little bit better at low light situations,
Mm.
or maybe, oh, Canon's autofocus might be a little bit better. Things,
Okay.
stuff like that, where once you get a little bit more pro, those little tiny details will matter a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're starting out, just pick one, go with it, use it for a little bit. If you don't like it, try out another one. It's like you can go rent them out for a few $100 or even cheaper sometimes. So it's not a big deal. Don't spend too much time thinking about what gear to get. Just buy your camera, go out, start shooting, start making content,
Correct.
edit, post, and that's how you actually get better at content creation. It's not really the gear. Like the gear does not matter that much. It does a little bit to a certain extent, but I'm telling you, just get your camera, get your lens, go out and shoot.
Okay. When you say it doesn't matter, I know some people would say it doesn't matter, like pro people. Like you obviously gonna say it doesn't matter. But people like me, a beginner, obviously it's gonna matter at some point. So some questions I would like to know is like, when you're looking for a beginner camera, what are like the top 3 qualities you look for? I know one of them could be the budget pricing, and 2, as you mentioned, could be the focus. What are the top 3 qualities you look for when it comes to beginner cameras?
Well, that's a good question, but I think to answer that question, you have to. It really depends on the person. It depends on what you're shooting, right?
Okay.
Like if you're shooting food versus if you're shooting sports,
Okay.
those are two different genres and you need different things.
Okay. So that'll be like number 1, finding what you want to shoot.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So if you shoot a certain thing, you'll need a different camera, different lens for that thing that you're shooting. So figure out what it is that you're shooting and then do some research on what kind of lens you need. So like if you're shooting sports, you might need a longer zoom lens, like a 70 to 200, for example. And you wouldn't necessarily need a lens like that when you're shooting food. Maybe for food you want like a macro lens
Okay.
instead. So that's one thing to consider.
Okay.
Uh,
And then number 2.
Number 2, figure out if that camera is better for photo or video. So, are you more of a video content creator, or you do more photo,
Okay.
or you do a hybrid? You do a little mix.
Okay,
Maybe you
so-
want a camera that's good at both of them.
Okay. So how would you know based on that kind of camera?
That's something you just gotta do your research on. Like, oh, does this camera have a high frame rate, or can this
Okay.
camera do 4K?
Okay.
Stuff like that, you know, just
Okay.
really basic stuff like that. Just look into. Generally cameras nowadays, they can do both photo and video, but maybe the video is lacking. Maybe it can't do 4K 60, and if that's something you need, then you're gonna look for a camera that can do that.
Okay. And what kind of camera could do that? Like high frame rates, you would say?
Yeah, so you need something that can shoot at a higher frame rate.
Okay.
So something like 60 frames per second, 120,
Okay.
if that's what you need.
Okay.
Generally, if you're just doing content creation where you're talking to the camera, like talking head stuff, then you're only gonna need about 24, 30 frames a second. So
Okay. So number 2, it really depends whether you're gonna focus more on more fast pace or just shooting into the camera and the style of content, like you say video or photo. So you look at the frame rates per second, 120, 60, and if you're talking, it could be 24 or 30. Pretty
exactly.
much. So that'll be your
Exactly.
second main thing, is
Exactly.
which one you're gonna focus more on, video or photography. And once you decide on that, you look at the frame rates after that. So what would be number 3 for you?
So number 3, I would get a camera. This sounds kind of weird to even say, but some people get these point and shoot cameras
Okay.
that just have this like built-in lens.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Those like zoom cameras.
Okay. Is
I
it like
would-
a...
I would not get one of those.
Okay, you would not get one of those. That's
Yeah.
number 3.
I will get a camera that has an interchangeable lens.
Okay, what kind of camera would that be?
Like the camera, like the Canon M50, I recommended any of those. Like,
So that'll be a
Big-
mirrorless?
yeah, mirrorless or DSLR.
Okay.
Any of those that you can change out your lens. That way you can shoot a variety of different things.
Okay, so that would be number 3. Your most important when looking for
Yeah,
beginner cameras.
just to have some flexibilities, just so you can get different lenses, play around with different focal lengths, so you
Mhm.
can kind of figure out what you like shooting, and having different lenses at your disposal for different shooting scenarios, right?
Yeah.
So I guess those are the main ones. Figure out what your niche is, what you want to shoot,
Yeah, which is number 1.
and then number 2, you want to figure out if you want to do more photo or more video. So find a camera that kind of fits
Yeah,
your like style of content.
because you could pick the frame rates as you mentioned.
And then number 3, you want to pick a camera that has an interchangeable lens.
Okay, number 3 and number 1 are almost similar basically if you think about it.
I mean, they're all related. So,
Okay.
and then once you think about those things, that'll help you narrow it down. And then once you have your budget, that'll help you narrow it down even more.
Okay. So, would you have ideas of budget-friendly cameras for beginners already in top of your head? If you had to pick like just 3?
Well, everyone has different budgets. You know, I can give you guys a list of cameras around the $500-$600 range. I give you guys a list of cameras in the $1,000 range.
Okay.
So, if that's something that you guys need, then yeah, I can put that together for you
Okay,
guys.
so that does make sense then. So when you were looking for my Canon M50, you looked at those 3 qualities. You didn't just pick it based on budget then. But you did pick it based on budget, how I mentioned.
Yeah, in the
But
end.
you also looked at, oh, Peter wants to shoot more content creation, number 1. And number 2, he wants some 4K. And number 3 is interchangeable kind
Yeah.
of way. Because I didn't know any of that. So that's what you looked
Exactly.
for when you picked my camera.
Exactly, yeah. I want to
Okay.
make sure you have a nice beginner camera within your budget that you can also use for a long time.
Okay. So that does make sense because I know a lot of beginners have trouble finding cameras as well. They'll get like a point and shoot, or it'll be too small, going too big.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people want to go, when they get a camera, they want to get the best of the best because they don't
Yeah.
want to really start off beginner. So why do you think some people as a beginner want to get like a good camera from the start?
It's because maybe they already know that they're going to be in that space for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
or they're just really dedicated. They're like, okay, I don't want to waste any time or any money buying these other smaller, cheaper cameras because they already know what they're going to want in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to jump the gun and just buy that like prosumer level camera instead,
Correct.
just so it's like more future proof, so that like, they don't have to spend like the first $500,000 on this camera just to go, oh, 1 year later, oh man, I wish I bought this other one instead.
Okay.
You know, because they already are a photographer or videographer, and they're just now getting into the content creation space,
Mhm.
so they already have all this knowledge
Okay.
on what they would want.
Okay.
right?
But can they really future-proof their camera if you buy a top-notch camera?
I mean, it's always nice to have like the newest, and
Yeah.
but it's, yeah, I would say so, because I bought my Canon R5,
Mhm.
and now it's a pretty old camera, maybe, I don't know, at this point 3-4 years old.
Okay.
And when I bought it, it was already a year old.
Correct.
But till this day, I still use that camera to shoot all my client work.
Okay.
So I would say it's pretty future proof, and they last a long time. Like, I've beaten the crap out of my camera, dropped it so many times, dinged it up, but it still works fine.
Okay. Because I know when I got my camera, at first, I didn't know what was more important. But now looking at it, you can see what's more important when it coming to the camera. Whether it could shoot 4K, changing the lenses or whatnot. So if I were to ask you, what would you say is more important when it comes to cameras for beginners? Would it be the body or the lenses? Because I know you said number 3 is to have interchangeable lenses.
Yeah.
But number 1 is also know the style of content you're shooting.
I think that's one thing a lot of beginners, they don't realize, is that sometimes the lens actually matters more than the body itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so important to have a camera that can have interchangeable lenses.
Okay.
Because when you buy a beginner DSLR or beginner mirrorless
Mhm.
DSLR kit, it comes with what's called a kit lens,
Mm-hmm.
which is maybe like a 15 to 55 f 3.5 f4.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that lens.
Correct.
It's a great beginner lens. It's what I started out with as well.
Yeah.
Everyone starts out with a kit lens. But then once you buy your first prime lens, so a prime lens is a lens that you can't zoom in or out. It's stuck at a fixed focal length, like a 50 mil prime, 35 prime.
Mm-hmm.
Once you buy that first prime lens and you take a picture with it, you're like, holy crap. My camera takes amazing photos.
Correct.
Because you see all that bokeh, all that blurry background effect, right?
Correct.
And that's the power of a prime lens. So that's why I say that the lens makes a big difference.
Okay, so the lens are more important than the body, in your opinion.
I would say that's to change your image quality, to get different photos. Yes. So if you're if you're taking like a nice portrait of somebody
Mm-hmm.
and you have an 85 millimeter, like 1.8, let's say, that's gonna take a much nicer portrait
Okay.
than your 18 to 55 kit lens.
Okay. So the lens would matter when you're shooting just a
Oh yeah,
portrait.
for sure.
Okay.
When you're shooting anything, but I'm saying
Yeah.
the lens, switching out the lens will make a bigger difference than switching out your body.
Correct.
Is what I'm saying.
So, and I know that some people, as beginners like me, debate about getting new lenses, and we have struggle finding about should we get a prime lens or a zoom lens, because not all of us wants to buy multiple prime lens. That's
That's true.
not cost effective. But if we buy a zoom lens, that's more cost effective because you can go from a 50 mm, a 20 mm, 70 mm to 100 mm all in one lens
Yeah.
instead of buying a prime lens where you have 3 separate lenses. That's
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yep.
So how do you go from there when recommending those?
So it is true you can have like so many different focal lengths in one lens
Mhm.
with a zoom lens, but you just have to remember that the quality of the image is going to be not as great as those prime lenses. That's what makes those prime lenses so expensive in the first place.
Okay.
So I think you just kind of have to figure out what's more important to you, having more versatility
Mm-hmm.
or having sharper image quality.
Okay.
And you have to also kind of determine, oh, am I shooting in lower light scenarios or am I shooting outside more?
Mhm.
Because if you're shooting in low light, you would probably want to use a prime lens unless you just have like great control of your ambient light.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, then yeah, I recommend a prime lens.
Okay.
But if you have perfect lighting, like a day like today, where you don't need to have where you don't have to shoot wide open at like 1.2, 1.6, 1.8, then yeah, just get a zoom lens.
Okay. So really matters on what you're looking for, like really if you want it sharper or versatility.
hmm hmm
How would you rank that in 3 ways for somebody looking for a prime versus a zoom lens?
it all comes down to what you're shooting and when you're shooting it, honestly.
Okay, let's say we're shooting a normal portrait photo. How would you go from there? Would that be a portrait lens or a zoom lens? 'Cause I know you can buy like a
can use-
50 mm
Yeah,
prime or a zoom 50 mm.
you can use both. So there's a 24 to 70 2.8 great lens, also very expensive because it is 2.8, or you can use something like a 50 mil or an
Okay.
85 mil. Those are all 3 of those lenses will take great portraits.
Mm-hmm.
It's also going to come down to what kind of like aesthetic you're looking for
Correct.
in your photos.
And then when it comes to aesthetics, what about when it comes to like just portability wise if you're traveling?
That's another big thing to consider. A 24 to 70 is pretty big and bulky. It takes up a lot of space. Primes can also get pretty heavy, if you're using a more expensive prime like 50 1.2, 85 1.2. So if you're a beginner, then I would say use I'll use a 35 prime. That's my favorite. That's my go-to. 35 1.8. Highly
Okay.
recommend. It's cheap, affordable, super small, and extra portable.